Matthew chapter 19 again. We're going to try and finish this. I don't want to jumble everything, all the events that happen in chapter 19 together and talk about a whole bunch of different things. I think it's better to just take one thing and just deal with it instead of just put everything together. All right, let's go to the next event that happened in chapter 19 and see what happened, right?
Then people carry the little picnic them come at Jesus, him put him hand upon them and pray for them. But Jesus special follower them start tell off the people them will bring the picnic them come and start run them. But Jesus say,
Lord, the little picnic them, make them come to me. No try tap them, cause God's kingdom of the people will come in like them little picnic.
And him put him hand upon them and then go about in business.
Here we have some people. I believe these are parents, are guardians. I don't think just regular people who just hanging about and see some children and pick them up and carry them go to Jesus and ask Jesus to bless them. But whatever the case may be, I'm gonna look at these as the parents are guardians of these children. So they see Jesus coming by, and when they see Jesus coming by, these people grab their children or take their children and they push them forward, that Jesus would put their hand upon them and bless them. Now, if you ask a parent, what's the most important thing in your life? Or who's the most important person or people in your life? 99.9% of them are going to say, if they have children, I'm going to say, my children. Even though they're married and they have wife and the wife have husband and things like that. Once the children are young, they're going to say, the children are the most important thing in my life. I cherish them. I protect them. I'm not going to leave them vulnerable for people to come and manipulate them and for people to come and trick them up. And I'm not going to turn them over to people who are not going to abuse them or anything like that. Plus, I'm not going to let anybody teach them any kind of doctrine that is not lined up with my doctrine that I believe in. So the most important thing in a lot of people's life is their children. So they cherish them and value them and they protect them. So I give these people credit. I give these people credit who brought their children to Jesus and asked Jesus to bless them. That means they put value on what the Lord is saying, what Jesus is saying, and what he is doing and who he is. Because they not just see him as a simple person, but they see him, even if they don't believe that he's a Messiah, but they believe that he's a prophet, he's a man of God, that he have the power or authority, and if he bless them, they are blessed. See, they're not asking him to ask God to bless them. They went to him and asked him to bless the children. So when you bring the children to the pastor, you ask the pastor, whoever the person is, a minister, that they will ask God blessing upon these children. But they brought the children to Jesus and asked Jesus that he would pronounce a blessing upon them. The same way, in a kind of way, when Moses was there, Moses stretched out his hand and blessed the people in the name of the Lord. When he said, the Lord bless you, when he blessed the children of Israel, and said, the Lord bless you, and the Lord keep you, and the Lord make his face to shine upon you, and the Lord be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. When Moses blessed the children of Israel. Same way, they look at Jesus as like Moses, that will bless the children and bless the people. So they brought his children to Jesus, and asked Jesus to bless the children. And he didn't hesitate. Matter of fact, before the children even get to him, the disciples see what the people were doing and start to run the people away and run over the children, because in their eyes they see that the Lord don't have time for children business or for picnic business. It's like a waste of time. But Jesus put a lot of emphasis on the children. Just like tell them to stop. He said, don't run with the children, them. Bring them to me. Because a lot of times children are often overlooked, even in the churches. When people are numbering up the people, they don't really number the children, them. Even if you're doing census in the church or whatever, you're counting up the membership in the church. Oftentimes the children are get overlooked. When you say, how many members you have in your church? Whether it's 50 and you have 20 children, they would just say, well, we have 50 people in the church. And I really count up the children as the children count for anything, because in their eyes, the children can't contribute to anything. Like they can't give money, they can't sing, they can't pay offering or whatever. They don't look at in the sense that the children can contribute much to the cause of the church. But how Jesus see the children, how he put a lot of emphasis on the children and said, suffer them, leave them, let them come to me. Don't stop them, let them come to me. And don't hinder them either. Because the children, the kingdom of heaven is like unto these children. They're just like these children. All the people in the kingdom of heaven are like children. They depend upon me. They look to me. I am their source. I'm their father. I'm their provider. I'm their protector. And they look to me for everything. So, the same way he desires, are he pleased to bless his own people, he's also pleased to bless the children. He said, suffer them to come unto me, and don't stop them from coming to me, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto these children. That probably shocked the disciples when they see that Jesus didn't push them away and join with them and push the children away and said, I don't got time for them. But bring them over. He brought them over and he put his hand upon them and blessed them. And after he finished, blessed them and sent them away. You see, that's a good thing. And it's kind of something that we adopt in the church. We adopt that also when we have a newborn baby in the church. The parents often brought the children or the child to the pastor, the minister, and asked the minister to bless the children, bless that child. We call a christening when we offer up the child unto God. No, some people believe that when they offer the children up, that means the children are saved for all their life. In certain denominations, especially in the Catholic Church and so on, they bless, or they call them the baptism. They have a baptism for the children. And if you ask the people, same people when they grow older, they say, I was baptized at a certain age. I was baptized when I was a child. So that guarantees me a place in heaven, and I'm saved. They can go and live their life any sort of way and they're okay. But in the regular Christian church, we don't baptize children. We don't believe that children reach that age of accountability when they can understand what is good at that age, when they understand what is good and what is bad, what is evil and what is good, or so on. But there come a time in their life that when they reach that age of understanding, that age of accountability, that they have to make that decision for themselves. That's the time now if they make a decision to follow Christ. And then we can go ahead and baptize them. But far as the children are concerned, when it comes to christening the children in the church, we have to be very careful. Sometimes when the parents come and brought the children up to be christened in the church, they often have a godmother and a godfather. And then we brought everybody up. The godfather come up and the godmother come up and so on. They may have one or two or how many you decide to have, godparents you decide to have. And the parents come up also, father, mother. Sometimes the other relatives, grandmother, whoever the family member are. They come up and the pastor, the minister said to them, You promise that you're going to raise these children up in the fear and the knowledge of God, and you're going to be there for the child, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And we ask them to commit themselves to certain things, knowing very well that these parents, some of these parents and some of these godparents are not going to commit, are not gonna do what we ask them to do. We say it regardless. We just say it out of ritual, ritualism. Something that we must say to them. You promise that you're going to do this. And for them, they must say, I do. Because that's how we do it in the church. We don't care if they do it or not. We don't follow up with them. We don't say, listen, this is what you're supposed to do, or put more emphasis on it. We just say, okay, go over it, and then we get on with it, and then we go on our way. It's just the same way as what the disciples did when Jesus was there with them. And they kind of like, this don't matter. We just like brush off the children and so on. But Jesus put more emphasis on it. I said, no, suffer them to come to me, and don't stop them. But we don't put emphasis on it, on the children them, and say this is all important, that you raise these children up in the fear and the knowledge of God. And some of these parents, them have these godparents that have no clue, especially, I don't even blame those parents who are not people who grew up in the church, are Christian people, are Christian parents. But I blame the ones who are Christian parents, who know better. And they get some of these people who are their friends, and some of them are their family members who are not saved. And then we force them, or tell them that you commit to raise the children up if the parents are not there in the knowledge and the fear of God. What do you expect these people to do? They themselves don't know God, but we expect them to teach the children about God. That is unfair to them. And we force them to be a liar, because in front of everybody now we put them on a spot that they must say yes, knowing that they're not going to do it. They know and we know that they're not going to do it, but nobody cares. But Jesus put a lot of emphasis on it. Don't say these things unless you mean it. If you're going to bless them, bless them. If you're not going to bless them, leave them alone. But the right and proper thing to do, especially for these children, is not to say we're going to get like 1,000 godparents and other relatives to come up and commit themselves. And maybe one out of the 1,000 of them, you might get about 10 of them who actually will do it. It's better if you go in front of the church and do like what Jesus did. There was no godparents there. And there was nobody else there to stand in place and whatever, parents, and say, when he about to bless the children, say, parents, come on up. And parents, make sure you get some godparents and some other people here to stand with these children while I bless them. What we should do at that time is to say, hey, bring the children up here and let me pray for them. And let me pray for them and ask God to bless them and to keep them. Just like what Moses did. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you, and may the Lord make his face to shine upon you, and may the Lord be gracious unto you, and may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and fill you with peace. And that's all we should say, or something similar to that, and bless them, and then let them, the children and their parents, basically go on their way, because that's all we can do. Matthew chapter 19.